guys, welcome to our virtual chat here on Facebook. We are also doing this as a live event. This is our first one. It's January 31st, 2022. Welcome to the virtual chat. A couple comments I want to make before we start answering questions or doing whatever you guys want to do with this conversation. For some housekeeping things. First of all, we will do a series of these. We're doing this again in February. We will do it in March. And the election will be April 5th. As you know, mark your calendars that the election is April 5th for County Board Supervisor in Dane County. Of course, I'm running in District 16. That means only residents of District 16 can vote, but I appreciate your support and sharing the information with any of your friends that live in the district. You can go on my Facebook page, which you're on right now, Rick Rose for Dane County, and look at the District 16 map. You could also go to rickrosefordanecounty.com, and there's a District 16 map there as well. And of course, in our mission to be as accessible as we can to you, feel free at any time to send me a direct message, post a question, let me know if I can help you determine if you are in the voting range. Additionally, you can also go to the Dane County Supervisor website on the internet, and there you will find the opportunity to type in District 16, or actually you will type in your address and it will tell you what district you're in. Now, if you happen to be in a neighboring district, my friend Brenda Yang and colleague, we share similar passions and interests for our community. She is just next door in Sun Prairie. I'm looking up the date of her event. She is doing a Meet Brenda Yang live at Sal's in downtown Sun Prairie. That will be this coming Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. You can go to Brenda Yang's website there. It's Brenda Yang for Dane County, and there you can sign up for attending that event if you'd like to learn more about Brenda as well. I also want to say today is a poignant day. The county executive did issue a statement that this is the 2-year anniversary today of the first COVID case in Dane County. And I want to thank everybody. I did a post earlier for your resilience. I also want to take a moment to honor those that are working in the field of healthcare and aftercare, and those that are working in the fields of prevention, testing, all those incredible things that really go to help us figure out how we can manage COVID. All of your hard work has led us to be resilient people and to live in these difficult times, navigating COVID and different mandates that are coming from the county, etc. So today is the 2 years of COVID anniversary. I did post a wonderful YouTube video about it. You can also find that on the Dane County Health Department website if you would like to see that. Lastly, there was something else I want to talk about. I want to let everyone know that there was great victory today in the Wisconsin State Supreme Court. They signed in a 4-3 decision to leave in place a ruling on the use of ballot drop boxes through February 15th election. Now, this ruling actually comes just 2 weeks before the primary election, and it's made to preserve the existing election protocol. So that's a very important thing. We're being blocked left and right, on a national level, all the way down to a state level, county level, and even local level, to try to block people from the accessibility they have to go and vote. Again, it's a big cause of our campaign to make county government accessible. Local government is something you can easily be a part of. I was thinking about this the other day. I stepped up the plate with the encouragement of my friend Michelle Ritt, who's also another county supervisor, who's been doing this for about 14 years, and declared that I wanted to run for this position. And it was like that, not as easy as that. I wanted to get prepared. I wanted to meet people. I have an incredible list of endorsements. You can follow those on Facebook and also on our website. But I wanted to get involved, and it was far easier than I imagined. Am I qualified for the position? Am I ready for the position? Am I excited about the position? Am I grateful to be working with my neighbors and residents on making changes to continue the success we're having here in Dane County, to make it even the best place to live and reside and go to school and recreate? Those are important to me. So I have those all as my backbone, but the process of going through being a part of a ballot process and being someone that someone can choose to vote for is easier than I thought. Dane County is there for you. The city clerk's office will help you through that process. I'm there to help you through the process. Again, if you're ever interested in running for a county or city position on the local level, where government really affects and impacts your life, where you really do have a say in this matter, please consider reaching out to us and finding out how you can do it. So there, I wanted to bring that up. Those were some housekeeping matters that I wanted to bring up before we go into the rest of the preface, before I take questions from anybody. Again, if you're not joining this virtual chat, again, there will be others coming up, as I mentioned. Boy, I see myself now, I'm awfully blue. No suggestion there. This is a nonpartisan position, but again, you caught me checking my haircut out a little bit. Thanks to a good friend of mine who's also in government work for cutting my hair on occasion. It gives us a chance to get together and discuss the issues and still accomplish some goals. But nonetheless, we will be having events here. You are always open to send me any questions you have at any point, and we'll get back to you. You may also hear from a young man named Alex. He is our campaign manager, but more than that, Alex serves the role of constituent relations. So any of you that have questions about policies or where we stand on an issue, or want to bring to our attention, more importantly, where you stand on an issue, please, please, please reach out to us, and Alex and I will get back to you. We really, really appreciate it. So I want to share on my screen with you and try to find where I can do that, and let you know you can also go to directly to the website of let me not get distracted here, sorry about that, rickrose.danecounty.com, and there you will see my platform. I want to highlight a couple of those stands to you, so you know where I stand and where I would love you to be a part of our conversation. Would be really, really important to me. I'm just trying to find screen share, and I may not be as successful as I thought. I practiced this before. I typically use Google Meet, so Facebook working is a little different for me. But nonetheless, again, if I'm not able to access that, I don't want to get distracted. I want to stay on target here. Feel free to follow along at rickrose.danecounty.com. Get there. Give me 1 second. Hope everybody's good today. Of course, you can send a message to a comment here on live, and I will figure out where to see it. I see comments and moderation tools right here, so I am more than happy to answer your questions if you send them there. Also, if you can help me out tremendously. If you're one of the 3 viewers watching right now and you'd like to make a comment about resolution of the video or the speed of it, if it's not working properly, I'd appreciate your feedback there as well, so I can make that adjustment. There we go. Anyway, I cannot easily access sharing my screen, and I don't know why. I think if I go into the live feature, it may be blocking me from doing so. Anyway, let me highlight a couple of the key points and the key tenets of my first 2-year term here as a potential Dane County Board Supervisor representing District 16 on Madison's east side. There are several tenets that I want to point out. 4 of them are my main key goals and promises to you that I want you to hold me accountable to. At any point, I want you to reach out and say, hey, Rick, let's look more at this, and let's look at more how we can get involved. So right at the front page on my website, you will see the district map, which I told you about. And then you will also see these 4 key points to my platform. Number 1 is what I've been referring to and what I've led this discussion with, because to me, it is critical that people understand that we are accessible and that you are able to come to us at any point with questions, comments, concerns, insight, suggestions, to set a time to get together either virtually or in person to talk about the things that matter to you. So that's number 1, is just being accessible and letting people understand that county government is there for you. And we want to help you along the way and how you can get involved in county government. It is my promise to you I'm going to work on a platform to do this, whether they're regular virtual chats or they're in person. I welcome that day. Opportunities for people to come together and talk to me and other county workers, county supervisors, county clerk's office members, whoever we can assemble to get together and really help direct you down that path of getting involved in county government. I do understand that being a politician or being an elected official may not be that path you want to take, but certainly it is equally easy to get involved on the county level here in Dane County. So that's number 1. I would tell you my history of working with counties and respecting county government goes back almost 35 years ago when my family started a series called Discover Wisconsin. Locally in Madison, we are on WKOW. We are also in the streaming world. Of course, you can watch us on YouTube. You can follow us on Apple or Roku or whatever, wherever you want to follow us. I'm sure you will find us. It's called Discover Wisconsin. It takes you on a journey across the state and highlights the beauty of our 72 counties. And for me, I had the pleasure of 9 years of hosting that show along with my co-host Stephanie Klett, who was 8 years the Secretary of Tourism here in Wisconsin, and now she is the head of tourism in Lake Geneva, and they're having a wonderful Winterfest this weekend. So if you get a chance to attend that event, I will be there along with some other friends in the Discover Wisconsin family. Alex may be joining me and some other folks. A dear friend of mine, April, who's running for county position down in Rock County, which is the home of my alma mater, Beloit College. So if you happen to be from there, come track us down. We will be at the wonderful Winterfest. And my friend Andy P., who's also a member of the Discover Wisconsin team, Beloit College graduate, and is active in local government scene down in Rock County. Anyway, so that's our number one matter. For years, I've had the opportunity to learn how the 72 counties work, not just from tourism, but from an economic standpoint, agricultural standpoint, preservation standpoint. 20 years ago, I also launched a TV series under our family business called Into the Outdoors. And at my announcement party a couple weeks ago, my predecessor in this position, Andy Schauer, who endorsed me and welcomed the crowd and introduced me at the election announcement party, he is also, by the way, running for this position in the new redistricting of County District 21, which was this former district that just moved in and expanded. But nonetheless, I endorse Andy as well in that position. I endorse Brenda Yang in her position. Andy had mentioned in his introduction about he knows that it will carry on my passion and his for lakes and looking at phosphorus levels and for streams and development. We all live in a very interesting place here in Dane County. Being on the east side, we have some of the most least developed land there is, and it is the last of it in Dane County from what I understand. And we want to make sure we develop that land appropriately and with sensitivity and understanding that we can have sustainability only when we really address expansion and development along with healthy land management and manage that growth. So that is the number two tenet I want to point out, is addressing the expansion and development of Dane County and specifically the east side, and creating thoughtful action plans to guide and direct that growth in healthy, positive ways. Working with parish zoning and planning commissions and city zoning and landowners, sustainability advocates, that would all be important to me. As I referred to earlier, 20 years ago, we started a series called Into the Outdoors. That was a funded project from the Department of Natural Resources here in Wisconsin. This series has gone on to win over 17 Emmy Awards, I think 18. We garnered one this year. And it really deals with these issues. And as the creator of that series, which is being recognized by other fellow storytellers in the entertainment business and the educational community. The series also airs in 35 states and Puerto Rico on PBS. I feel endorsed in my beliefs to work on sustainability and to work on these issues. It's a big passion for mine. I'm going to save the personal reason I'm getting involved for last. Number 3 is a hot, sensitive issue here in Dane County, and for a reason. You know, things don't become hot and sensitive unless they are important. So for many decades, Dane County and others who have had our role as supervisors have studied the plans to work on the Dane County jail. It is an archaic, older jail, decades old, and it needs to be repaired and updated to make living conditions acceptable for those residents in the facility. And I back that. I stand here. I'm sure I'll entertain questions about it. I support that cause very greatly. We all deserve a safe, updated place to reside, whether that is someone who is struggling with homelessness, whether that is someone that is jailed for whatever their circumstance and reason may be. And I want to address that next as part B of this platform point to me. and that is working on reformative justice and working at crimes of poverty and looking at the root of what's causing folks to spend time in the Dane County Jail. So all of this is really important, is to provide a humane setting for people to live. We all deserve that no matter what. The second issue, part of that is what I addressed. Part B is let's look at other systems that are working in other communities. Dane County is such an amazing place of great thought and great care. I have been here almost 5 years now, and I have found our citizens and our neighbors and our residents and our officials to be open-minded and to be progressive thinking about how we can be proactive in the things we can implement now that we may not have been able to implement decades ago to help prevent people to go into the prison system or the jail system in this case. My thoughts there are also that with that expansion, we would be able to lower the number of beds in the facility, which holds us accountable as Dane County supervisors to go in and make sure that we are lowering those numbers as best we can by looking at things like physical, mental, emotional, and sexual abuse. Look at substance abuse and the stigma around that. Very dear cause of mine. I sat on the opioid committee here in Dane County called Pride in Prevention, and I co-chaired that, and really am attached to working on conditions that people that are still struggling with those abuse issues and the stigma related to them, which are equal deterrents to healthy living. We need to address the core of those challenges. Also, the public danger created by inaccessibility to affordable housing and medications. And fourthly, public health risks due to lack of education and direct services. I have found the most effective course of action is to acutely focus on both ends of the challenges. Let's focus on the individuals who are at risk, and let's look at the systems which provide them with the assistance and safety that we as fellow members of the community owe them. This focus will be applied in my role as a county supervisor representing the real people of Dane County in District 16. And lastly, I want to check in on my fourth prong, which is another reason I am running for this position, and I have vast experience in it. And that is simply stated on the website, again, rickrosefordanecounty.com, to create a safe and secure place for children and families in need. Again, I apologize I couldn't go live with the website so you could follow along with me, and I am going off the website now. I was just using it for a point of reference, but I can easily on this point or any of the points go off and tell you from my heart and my intelligence and understanding the current condition we're in or living within in Dane County as it relates to family services and children's protective services. I have been a CASA volunteer, which is a court-appointed special advocate in 3 states, Wisconsin being the third of them. I've done this in Louisiana and previous to that in Missouri for over 20 years of my life. My heart goes out to anybody that is a court-appointed special advocate. We're a judge here in Dane County. The Dane County judges have decided to honor this system and allow an organization. This is run through the Canopy Center, another incredible community resource here we have. You should look them up as well. But they oversee the CASA program. And so we're appointed to work with families who have had a child removed due to neglect or abuse. And here in Dane County so far, I've had several cases. I currently have one young man, a 10-year-old, had his birthday last week. We'll call him E for the purpose of privacy. And I talked to E yesterday virtually. I'm on the road traveling and had an opportunity to talk to his foster mom and him and catch up. And there were a lot of smiles. And I know I was able to go to bed last night knowing that he was able to go to bed in a safe, caring, peaceful environment. And my heart goes out to his foster mom. I've grown to be very close to her as we work on returning him to his home, to his 2 adoptive moms who recognized there were challenges in his life and reached out to the county for support. Now, the story there is the county wasn't able to give them as much support as they deserved as fellow residents of Dane County. And let me explain myself. This is not a gripe. This is not a complaint. This is not a subjective statement. This is a very thoughtful, experienced statement. And from all those folks I have worked with on both of the cases, and I'll just let the second case go aside. That young man named T, talked to him again today. He is now a young man of 20 years old, so he is out of child care and protection, and he's moving his way into adulthood with some developmental disorders. And again, from the age I came connected with his situation and his family, and his being at 17 years old all the way through today, we too face challenges of safe places for him to stay and enough people to step it up and volunteer to be foster homes. So the part is not just on the government side, guys, or the system side. It's the entire challenge we have in getting people to understand what it means to be fosters, or understand what it means to step up and be a court-appointed special advocate, or to circle back to the beginning of this conversation, what it means to step up and run for an elected position where, in all those cases, you can make a difference in someone's life. So back to my story about E. So he was brought into the system, and I was attached the day before a milestone event happened in his life. I went and met with him. I met with his mothers and my supervisor, the head of the CASA program. Hi, Megan, if you're watching or will be watching later. Huge respect to you and the work you do, both at CASA and Canopy here in Dane County. But the following day, one of his mothers and Evan boarded a plane at Dane County Regional Airport, an incredible facility, by the way, and left to Tennessee, where he was left to live in a home, I don't want to say a detention home, a facility working with troubled children and helping them develop skills to reacclimate to the community. And he lived there for several months, and his stay was extended several times because here in Dane County, we had no homes that qualified or stepped up to be a foster home for him. We had no facilities that had beds enough for Evan to stay and for us to work with him locally with all the intelligent and thoughtful and caring people I described earlier that live in Dane County. We are the ones that should be helping our neighbors. We are the ones that should be providing these tools and systems we all deserve to live and have healthy life. Now, I have no regrets about what happened in Tennessee. Evan came back with some incredible tools. And when he came back, he boarded a plane. And we didn't know at that time where he was going to be living. But fortunately, as I mentioned, C, his foster mom, was at a certain level of fosterhood where she qualified to take his level of needs and care. And he is living there now and doing extremely well. And I know yesterday he had a wonderful visit, I think 2.5 hours with his two moms and his brother. And he's on the road to doing better because we are taking care of him in Dane County. And we need to do more of that. We need to understand and work on these same conditions I described earlier as we talked about the Dane County Jail. These are things that I assure you, in T's case, my older boy, if you will, or my older son, if you will, and I view them that way, these are issues that he is facing every day. I received a call 2 days ago that a family member of his was possibly involved in a criminal activity in Dane County. I'm being a little hesitant. I'm respecting privacy, and I'm new to this, so I'm being cautious, extremely cautious. You will know I will undoubtedly err and make mistakes and missteps in my time as a county supervisor, but I assure you my intent will be fully well thought out and thoughtful, and we'll do it with respect. And I am willing to be held accountable and called out if at any time you guys feel that I have misstepped. I've reached out to over 10 people that are doing this, that have been doing it a far longer time, and assure them that's what I need. I need someone to watch over me. I need you guys to help me. And so many of them are having me become familiar with the minutes of a meeting and the agendas of meetings, and as I and Alex and other teams that have volunteered are digging deeper into the subjects we will be addressing, I have people on the other end who assure me they will hold my hand and hold me accountable, even with virtual meetings. You know, you can always chat and send messages that way and poke someone when you feel they're they're a little off kilter here. So that being said, I will certainly commit to being as honest and the word we all use these days as transparent as I can in making the decisions I make, and know they will come from my heart and my mind, from a full understanding, as full as I can before I make any of those decisions. That being said, I'm open to entertaining any questions. We'll stay on live for a bit here to answer any questions you may want to pose in the comments. I will certainly answer those, or anybody at any time that watches this, which will be posted on my personal website as well as my Dane County website, supervisor website, election site, I should say, my candidate site, which is Rick Rose for Dane County on Facebook. So it will live there, and you can certainly put comments in there. Folks will tell you I'm an active Facebooker. It's how I stay in touch with things. It's not my news source, mind you, but it is definitely how I feel I can connect with the beat of the community and see what's going on. So please know, after seeing this, if any questions, comments, or thoughts come up, I don't see any coming in now. And for the purpose of time, I want to jump back to the other platform here to get that event going. But thank you so much for your time. Please reach out to me at any time if you have any questions or any concerns, any thoughts, anything like that. I see two of you are still listening in live right now. Hopefully many others will join us later. But hello, and thank you to the two of you that are still here, to the bitter end, if you will. And I encourage you to follow with me as we jump forward into the election on April 5th. Now, if anyone would like to volunteer, Alex would love to hear from you. Look at what talents you have and what resources you have and how you can get involved. Alex is my campaign manager and constituents affairs person. He is there to help you and help me along this 2-year journey. I do want to shout out to a fellow newbie, if you will, unopposed supervisor, Kirsten Husselman, who is running in the McFarland area, District 27. I also strongly endorse Kirsten. I have talked to her. We stand on the same page on many issues. I am dearly grateful for the work she has done as a community activist in everything from LGBTQ affairs to homeless affairs to so many things, racial justice. Definitely someone that I admire in the short time I've gotten to know her, and I appreciate the work she did. And as a quick aside, my social activism dates back to the early days of HIV and AIDS, where I fought the battle at its formation, and I feel I am similarly doing so today, 2 years later, on the anniversary of COVID coming to Dane County, or being recognized in Dane County with its first official diagnosis. In that, I sit on the statewide AIDS planning group, and this is a commission appointed by the Department of Health of the state, and there's about 30 of us, similar size, maybe a little smaller than the Board of Supervisors, and we represent all aspects of the state. And we deal with issues like health disparities. We deal with issues of medication accessibility, stigma, all of the issues we talked about. Certainly, as you know, the face of AIDS, which once looked like this many years ago, is a very different face and very different set of circumstances. So I was able to talk to Kirsten about the early days of advocacy and to share with you my commitment to what I am getting into. I have been an AIDS activist for over 40 years fighting this cause, and was honored, very gratefully, was nominated by a dear friend of mine who lost her life, named Leanza Cornett, who was an AIDS activist with me. She was Miss America in 1993, and she nominated me to be one of 16 AIDS activists to watch, I think back in 2016 perhaps. And Mark, who is an incredible blogger, an incredible friend in person, that names that list every year, appointing me as one of the 16 international activists and advocates to follow. So that's a huge endorsement to me, and I appreciate it very much. But getting back to that, it was really a pleasure to talk to Kirsten about advocacy of today and activism of today and how we have similarities and differences. So wrapping this up in the last 40 seconds, because I wanted to give it 30 minutes, she has put together, and I'm grateful, an event which will be of the new unopposed supervisors. It'll be a Facebook Live forum. We'll post it here. On any platform you're watching this, you'll be able to find it, or on the website, rickrosefordanecounty.com. It's myself, it's Kirsten, Brenda Yang, District 19 will be joining us, Jacob Bright, a gentleman I've been talking to as well, District 17, Olivia, District 13, April, District 15, Dana, District 33, and Michael Engelberger, another gentleman I've been talking to down in the lovely Stoughton area, District 35. So far, we have confirmed to be part of that forum. We'd love to talk to you just because we are running unopposed, and we may have earned the seat. Trust me. The work is ahead now, and we couldn't do this work without you. So thank you guys specifically for joining in, and for those that are watching this in repeat, and stay tuned for the date we will post for doing this again in March and again in February before that. So thanks, guys. Remember to vote. Sign up for your absentee ballots when you can, when they're open and eligible to be signed for. We'll be posting updates along the way that way as well. So District 19, District 16, District 25, it doesn't matter. I appreciate you all joining us. If you're watching from afar, thank you for your interest in Dane County. Because if you're interested in our county government, we're interested in yours. It's the government for, by, and with the people. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day and a great tomorrow.